Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2 3. I can hear me. Can I hear you?
Yes, Sirski.
All right, J.A.B Nation, we are back and we're better than ever with another episode. Now, today we are going to talk about something kind of serious. We want to talk about mass shootings in the United States of America. I feel like this is a problem that we have or have had for a while, and it's just something we can't really figure out. As a country, we all get on one accord to be like, hey, this is what we need to do, and we come up with something that what we really need to do that's effective to stop these mass shootings.
Yeah.
The first one I want to talk about is the mass shooting that happened in Buffalo. And it's just sad. Like, how do you feel about the situation, Jalen? Because I actually saw like the video, because the guy who went and shot up the supermarket in Buffalo, he actually he was live streaming it, and a lot of people recorded it and posted it everywhere, and it's just so sad to just see bullets go through somebody's like heads and bodies and see the blood spill. Like, it was just so I've never really seen that live before. It was just so weird.
Yeah, I ain't really see the video. I think our friend Kendall, when we went bowling that day, he showed me, like, I guess he was trying to show me the video, but I didn't watch it all the way because I seen what you was talking about, like where he kind of live streamed it, and he was like, he had the camera on his gun and stuff like that, and it's just terrible how wicked some people are in society today, and it just shows us that we still not, it's still here. You know what I'm saying? Racism and stuff is still here. You still have racists out there that still want, that's trying to hold us down and trying to stay in power, feel like they're losing their power, whatever. And it sucks because, innocent lives just got taken from, their families and, sons and daughters and, brothers and sisters and stuff like that. And it's just terrible. And I just send my condolences out to those families that lost, their family member. But it's kind of getting ridiculous, like, with this whole thing. Just people, I don't get it, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand. I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. It's a lot to take in, because it's just like, why do they hate us so much? You feel me? Like, why, like, our, our color, our race, why do they hate us so much? And it's not just an America thing. Like, it's not probably as bad as in other countries, but black people, Africans or whatever in the case may be, still get discriminated against in other countries all around the world. So it's just like, what did we do to them for them to, put us down and for them to make us feel bad? Because it's just like, dang, like, we didn't do anything, to my knowledge and to the history, I done read up on, like, we didn't do nothing to them, we didn't do nothing, against them, we didn't take nothing from them. But it's like, every chance they get, not everybody, I'm not gonna say it was everybody, you know what I'm saying, because there are great people out there, of Caucasian race and other races that's nice to us. But for the races out there, you know what I'm saying, like, what did we do to them? I still can't wrap my head around that. Just, what did we do to them? Like, I don't get, like, why they just come try to just ruin us and just try to destroy us, and we didn't do nothing to them. So it sucks. It's kind of bad to think about, but that's just the time we living in, I guess. And we just, we're not far removed from back in the day. it just give you a reminder that we're not far removed from back in the day. We came a long way, but we're not far removed. It's still a long ways to go. So it sucks, but uh, that's just it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't really put it into words. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I just um and one thing I want to talk about is both the shooting that happened in Buffalo and the shooting that happened in Texas. Well, first of all, the shooting that happened in Buffalo, it was a white 18-year-old male shot up uh a predominantly he went to a predominantly black neighborhood and shot up um a grocery store. And one thing that was like crazy to me when people say, "Oh, this wasn't really about race," because he did end up killing some people that weren't black. Uh, it was like a mixture, but majority of the people were black. But when I saw the video, he was shooting some black people, and then he went to, you know how where you pay for your groceries, like the aisle, and you go to the cashier, and he rings you up or she rings you up.
Yeah.
He goes behind one of the cash registers or whatever, and there's a white guy sitting on the ground covering his face. He's like, "Please don't shoot me." And the 18-year-old, he points his guns at him. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then continues to like look for other people to shoot. Like that's just crazy. That you would shoot up, other black people, then you point your gun at a white person and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then keep on going. Like now we know what your intentions are. I didn't really see majority of the people he did kill were black. I feel like that might been like one person he killed that was white, but I don't really think that was intentional. He was probably just caught in the fire, probably kind of situation. Um, I could be wrong, but I don't know. And the other shooting that happened in Texas, it was elementary school. These are kindergartners, first graders, second graders. Like, what you don't do you have beef with like kindergartners, third graders? Like, what? Like, why would you? Even if you did have a beef with somebody in the elementary school, you were 18 years old. Why would you? I don't understand. I really don't. I really don't get it. I don't think I can wrap my head around why somebody would do that. Because I guess I'm not crazy. And talking about crazy, a lot of people want to say these people were mentally ill. These people were mentally ill. But a lot of the times when a black person um, ends up shooting and killing somebody, we don't really say like he was mentally ill or she was mentally ill. We just say they was a bad person, gang member, something, something, yada, yada, whatever they want to say. But if it's somebody who, isn't black, it's like a lot of people want to pull how people say, "Oh, you just pulling the race card." They just want to pull the mentally ill card.
Yeah.
And I don't care if he was black. I don't care if he was mentally ill. This person, if they were in a gang or not, they should be held accountable for what they are doing. And one thing that I find so weird in this country is that you're 18 years old. It is legal for an 18-year-old to get a firearm, but at 18 years old, you're not allowed to drink. And the logic behind that, I've heard people say, well, your brain hasn't fully developed until you turn 21. So that's the logic behind we're not letting people under the age of 21 allowed to drink alcohol. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So you're saying that someone under the age of 21, you're not letting them drink because their brain isn't fully developed. So you think their brain isn't fully developed to handle alcohol, but you think their brain is fully developed to handle a firearm? Really? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me. That really doesn't. And a lot of people want to say, well, it's for self-defense. It's for self-defense. Okay, cool. It's for self-defense. But we're talking about a person who you claims whose brain hasn't fully developed yet.
Right.
Do you think they probably gonna know how to use a weapon for self-defense? when you over here trying to pull this card, oh, their brain hasn't fully developed yet. Why would you? To me, in my mind, if I was handing anybody anything to anybody whose brain isn't fully developed yet, I would hand them a shot of Hennessy before I hand them a gun. That's just me. If they're if they're under the age of 21, I will hand you a drink before I would hand you a gun, a firearm. But that's just my logic. I don't have the logic of the American government. I don't know.
Um, with that, it's just even with what you said, like the whole drinking thing, like, and I looked it up too, like actually, like the brain of a person don't develop until they're 25. So even drinking and all that stuff is before, I guess you could say the developed brain age. But with these guns, man, I you know, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have guns to protect themselves and stuff like that. Like people shouldn't have guns in general. I understand like some people hunt, some people, do different things and stuff like that. But when you're talking about a automatic, a semi-automatic like AR-15, like guns that's used in the army for defending the country, like guns that are very heavily automated guns. Like when you talk about that, it's just like, why do you need that? Why do you need that? Now I can understand like a pistol, like a sniper or something like a rifle, like a sniper or something like that for hunting stuff, things of that nature. I can understand, but the AR-15, all these, it's different semi-automatics, and basically these guns offer, not trying to be funny, but these guns that people are using are like guns off of Call of Duty, like guns that are crazily powerful, that should be only used for the army and marines and stuff like that, and people on the streets got them in their hands. And I understand like that's an amendment right, like second amendment, right to bear arms. But at the same time, you got to think like, and people don't want to think like that because they just be like, I'll never be in that situation. But you got to think like, what if those your kids, on the other side? Like, what if, what I'm saying? Like, put yourself in, those people's shoes where, like, come on, man, like, it's ridiculous. And some of these kids that are getting a hold of these guns are getting it from their parents, like, not locking it up and stuff, just leaving it out, and these kids are getting a hold of them. And you can't really, you can't blame nobody else but yourself, because your child got a hold of your gun, used it, whatever the case may be. You gotta put yourself in different scenarios. You gotta think this through. Like, I don't know. I can't, like you said, I can't even wrap my head around it. I can't really just come with I guess you can say an exact solution. But but just letting people have any gun, have guns, and just be like, here, have at it. What I'm saying? Like some of these laws that's passed where you don't need a, concealed to carry whatever, I guess a concealed to carry thing, card or whatever, or license. You don't need that no more. You can just carry and conceal what, like stuff like that. It's just, you're asking for trouble, because now people can, more things can happen, and then it's gonna be called an accident. It's gonna be called, oh, I didn't know, blah blah blah. But these laws that's being passed, is just making it worse and worse. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that people shouldn't have guns. I mean, obviously, you should protect yourself, but when it comes to certain things like that, like you gotta put yourself in different scenarios and think it through and kind of just do what's best for like your family and stuff. But at the same time, like you gotta think. But that's really all I gotta say. I don't know. I can't really wrap my head around it. I guess I don't know. But these powerful, weapons, all these semi-automatics with 100 rounds and all this stuff, like, and just it's crazy. Like, no background check. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a background check for real to get a gun no more. Like, stuff like that is ridiculous. So it's making it more easy for things like this to happen. So, but it's really on the government. Like, the government can't look at nobody but themselves. They can't blame nobody else but themselves because they the ones that's passing, and they just trying to, excuse my French, but they just trying to say they on tail. Like, they trying to say they on tail, and it just to stay in power. But it sucks. It sucks. But I ain't gonna keep rambling. But it's ridiculous.
One thing that I do want to say about this whole thing that kind of, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is just what I heard. For the Texas situation, some of the police officers went in to the school and saved their own kids. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. You a police officer going and saving your own kid. But then they prevented parents from going in to save their own children. So that just seems kind of like, I know you're a parent and you're gonna have your own prejudices, like, you might like your child more than somebody else's. But I feel like in a situation like this, you shouldn't just, it just makes you look bad. It just makes it look like I just want to save my child, nobody else's. Because not only did you just went and only try to save your child, but you prevented parents from coming in. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true. Maybe police officers did go in there and try to get their children and other people's children, but maybe they also did prevent parents from coming inside because they didn't want the parents to accidentally get shot as well. You can look at it that way. I have no idea. But I just know that on the media that they're trying to spin this, they're trying to have this narrative that the police officers went inside, only saved their own children. And then when the parents wanted to come in and save their own children because they knew there was an active shooter inside, the police officers did not let them go to try to save their children. I have no idea if this is true. If this is true, I will be highly upset. But the thing with me is, if it is true, I wouldn't be surprised. That's the thing with me. I wouldn't even bat an eye. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be befuddled. I wouldn't be like, how could they? Yes, I could believe they could. That's just the kind of level of trust or how I view police officers. Like, I wouldn't put it past them for them to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know how crooked a lot of systems are in America. Not just police system, just the government, all of it. All of it, you're gonna find some evil, some crooked people somewhere in anywhere you, at your job, at your school, anywhere. But yeah, I just want to send out my prayers to everybody who is hurting, everybody who needs justice.
Right.
We need justice ×2, ×5.
Exactly.
Because you losing a child. I saw this interview with this guy. His daughter ended up getting shot and killed in the shooting at Texas. That was his only child. Only. He don't have a son. He don't have another daughter. That was his only child.